Either you die working or you die doing something that you love. And obviously, family is what it is for me, and that was kind of a no-brainer.
Your mom
So,
passed away. What are we going to do? Do you want to quit working? Hi, I'm Veronica.
and I'm Brandon,
And we're
exploring
exploring
random
random
roads.
roads. I can't believe we're finally doing this.
It's been a
Okay,
while. It's been a
so
while.
technically, we bought the RV in 2021 in September. So we are at our 3-year anniversary of living on the road.
Yes.
Whew! And it's been quite a roller coaster. We finally feel like we're not being imposters. Like, we've lived this lifestyle and we finally have something useful that we can share with you guys. So, we're going to tell you everything from why we left our house, why we bought the RV, what we thought life on the road was going to be like, as far as like work, what we do for work, things that we didn't expect. And it's pretty much sharing everything that we've learned so far. And in between, we're also going to share all of the fun adventures on, things that we've done, places we've gone to,
Yeah.
people we've met. It's been quite
And an adventure.
an adventure. And we are so excited to finally share with you.
Yeah.
So let's get started. His mom passed away in February of 2020. So literally like a couple weeks before, just no, actually a month before they announced COVID and the world shut down. And she was pretty much like our biggest cheerleader, our biggest supporter in everything that we did. Um, she was awesome. And for me to say that my mother in law was like a mom to me is huge because most people don't get to say that about their in laws. And I was very fortunate that I got lucky with the most amazing mother in law and the best mom and the best grandmother and just all the things. So she passed away, and our life pretty much got flipped upside down.
Everything turned. Even Violet, she struggled a little bit, um, not understanding why she wasn't coming back, and I think that was a turning point for us understanding that what's life? What are we doing with our life now? What's the point of in the future? What are we gonna look at? So
And when the world shut down and everybody else was getting to stay home and figuring out school and how they were going to work remote and being feeling like they were locked up in the house and all that kind of stuff, we kind of stayed on our same routine. Violet and I stayed at home. We didn't get to go anywhere anymore, but we stayed at home. That was our normal routine. Brandon continued to go to work
yeah,
through the whole pandemic. He was considered, what was it,
an
uh
essential.
an essential job because he worked in construction, and so he was out there still working. He was part of that boom with everybody fixing their house and renovating and doing
Yeah,
all those things. So he didn't get a break during the pandemic. He didn't get to stay home and try to figure out what life was going to be like from now on. Like, his life, our life continued on that same routine, on the same rat race of see you later. He'll leave early in the morning, come back late at night. And I feel like it was even stretched more, like longer
yeah,
hours because people were home and they were like, keep on working,
yeah.
right?
Also, too, working with clients at their house while it was during COVID, that means that their family was home. And watching some of the families being able to be home with their kids was kind of an eye opener because, you're working so many hours, even for a regular job. But for me, it was just more of being able to see how certain families were with their kids while we were working at their house. It was kind of a rude awakening of, I really miss that. I want to be around my family more.
Why is he working all these crazy hours? We don't even get to see him that much because he's living what he thought was his dream of like being his own business, living that lifestyle of freedom, yet we weren't really reaping any of the benefits of it. He was killing himself slowly, and it got to the point where I was like, is this really what you want to do? Like,
I
you
mean, it was
saw.
the best question was from her was either you die working or you die doing something that you love. And obviously, family is what it is for me, and that was kind of a no-brainer. So,
And that led to a bunch of just quick questions and like deciding, like, what are we going to do? Do you want to quit working? I can't afford to, with my little side hustle of being a floral designer, I can't afford to keep our house and all of the expenses like he was. So it just kept coming back, that same question, like, your mom passed away and she worked her butt off the same. She worked so hard, super long hours.
when I was young, like, uh, I was home with my dad, my brother, and I was always like, "Where's mom?" And it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I remember my dad um, taking us kids and our dog to her shop because she was a barber, um, to her shop and drop off the dog because he just knew she was going to be there until like midnight. I mean, it's just those kind of things. I think yeah, COVID was a horrible time of everybody's life, but at the same time, it woke everybody up. It made them understand that there's more to life than just killing yourself and not being able to enjoy everybody else's time around you, and that's a big deal. So,
And the aftermath of her passing away, we were left with all of the stuff, like all of the stuff that made her happy. But now we also have to figure out, like, what do we do with all of this stuff? And I think our house was starting to explode with like our things and her things. I ended up even like getting rid of a lot of my things because I wanted to make room for hers, because she's gone. This is all we have is like her material things. And it started to get overwhelming in just a lot of ways. But really, the big question was, what are we doing? What is our purpose? What are we happy in what we're doing? And also, the house that we lived in was not our house.
nope.
It was her house that she inherited when her dad passed away, but she already had a home. So she let us live in the house. But now that she's gone, it became a shared inheritance with his brother.
Yep.
And it just didn't feel right that we were being able to live in this house when it was both of their money now. Yep. It wasn't her choice of letting us be there. Now it's a shared inheritance. Yep. We started to feel this guilt of like, why do we get to be here when it's his too? Like, he could use this money to help him with whatever he has going on in his life. Yep. And we'll take our part. So we ended up, that's how we got to the part of selling our house. Yep. The market was crazy. And we had actually it was June of 2021. Yep. We went on a camping trip with family. I had never really been camping. He had done a lot of like desert camping and beach camping and things like that.
Yeah,
he had more
everything.
And he had more experience than I did. But we went on this 2-day weekend thing, and my nephew Aiden, shout out to you because I think you kind of started the idea and planted the seed. He'll love that we're talking about him too. But he's like, well, why can't you guys do it? You could just park your RV in our backyard. Because I asked, could we do this?
Yeah.
Could we live in this RV? Like, could this be our lifestyle? People are doing it everywhere. And Aiden was like, just do it. They can park in our yard, right, Mom? And so that stayed in my head. Yeah. Fast forward to July.
Yes, July.
We're like, okay, I think we can do it. Let's just sell the house. It's time. Let's sell the house. It's been over a year since his mom passed away.
Yep.
It's time to like
move
on, do what we got to do. So started getting the house ready for sale. for some reason in my head, I was like, we can do this. I don't know how, but it's gonna happen.
And me thinking she's nuts and just this is the worst mistake ever.
Yeah, because we're getting rid of our security. Like, we'd lived in this house for 12 years at this point, and I was like, let's just get rid of everything. So we did. We started having yard sales to get rid of our belongings. We like purged everything. Mind you, we had a 3-bedroom house with a living room. Violet had her own big space that was her playroom. We had Brandon's garage that was his workshop. So it had every kind of tool you could even think of.
And I think the hard part is too is you really don't realize how much stuff you have
until you have to start getting rid of it.
Yes.
And then, so that's where we are. We're having yard sales. We're donating things. We're giving stuff away to people.
That we know that would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we ended up, my sister agreed to let us put we had 2 little small storage units, like the little like sheds. And she said, just put those in our backyard and you can put whatever you can fit in there. So we're like, okay, we don't, at this point, we're over things. We want to just get rid of all of it. And so we ended up picking what was important, what we thought we would want if the time came that we were going to settle down. Yeah. So really what it came down to is like we ended up having a whole storage unit with all of our Christmas and Halloween and all of the holiday decor, because his mom was huge on holiday decor, and that was also like his memories. His last childhood memories were in these Christmas ornaments and things like that. So we have a shed still now. That's pretty much the last of our things.
Pretty much.
At his mom's house. I mean, at my sister's house, that has his mom's Christmas stuff, our Christmas stuff, some of like Violet's like first outfits and things like that. Like we don't really have any more furniture.
And some clothes that my mom, we knew that she loved, and we knew that eventually Violet was probably gonna want to wear something like that. Yeah. So
I even got rid of my wedding dress. You know how some people, like, I was holding on to it for this whole time. Like, maybe one day she'll get to wear it, but because we had the storage, I just kept putting it away, putting it away. And now it was like, am I really going to hold on to this dress that who knows if she's even going to want? So I donated my wedding dress. We donated lots of things.
A lot of things.
But I can say it was life-changing, and more of just the fact that we got rid of things, but like the physical weight of having all of the stuff to constantly care after and clean and like all of that stuff, like we just got rid of it.
And you actually don't think that you feel good about it when you first start it. Eventually you start kind of going, okay, well, these are just things now after a while, but obviously there's very, very important things that you want to keep, and that's understandable, and that's what we did. And we just kept the main things that we knew that when Violet gets a little older, we could show her stuff. I mean, but we're lucky nowadays because we have phones. We have phones, we have videos, we have pictures of everything. So it's different now. Everything that our families grew up with had boxes and boxes and boxes, and now we have one little box that has a bunch of pictures and videos on it, and it worked out perfect. So
by August, it was on the market. We had our first open house like second week of August. We still didn't have an RV at that point, did we?
We were already looking because we already knew obviously this is what we were gonna do. You have to understand, like we had the house, we were running the business, we had the cars, but we just knew that the money was coming throughout all this, but we needed to figure out how.
We had no money to buy an RV. We were waiting on the sale of the house to buy the RV, so we technically couldn't even buy anything until escrow closed,
which was pretty scary, because I mean you already started selling everything and you're kind of going, okay, well, this is gonna happen no matter what, but how much it's gonna happen and how fast, we don't know yet. But
so we ended up, first open house was second week of August. We listed the house, I think, like on a Thursday. By that following Tuesday, I believe, we had multiple offers. We accepted an offer, did a 30-day escrow, and we had to be out.
on that day.
So once we sold the house, escrow closed, we literally like got the money.
Yep.
And we had already found the RV and they were holding it for us contingent on the sale. And they knew as soon as that sale closed, we were going to come in with the check to buy
Yep.
the RV. So they agreed to hold it for us. We signed all the paperwork.
Yep.
They were just waiting for payment. Literally, we got the RV.
So we bought the RV.
Yeah.
But they already told us that they were gonna hold on to it for a couple days.
Yeah.
I think it was a couple days.
So he had
So
a
it was
couple
like-
days to buy the truck. That's
it was
right.
like a Tuesday, and we went in, we bought the trailer, and they said we're gonna hold on to it, clean it up, make sure everything is good, and we knew, but it was pretty stressful on that part, just trying to figure out what truck we wanted to get, and we just knew no matter what, we wanted to get something bigger than what needed to get pulled. Because I mean, the way I look at it is it's less stress on the truck. So we just went with a little bit bigger of a truck. And that's what took a little longer because at that time, everybody was buying trucks. Everybody was buying them.
So you found a truck. Where did you find it?
I found it on OfferUp. I found it on OfferUp.
And the ad for it was like already a month old or something.
It was like 2 months old.
So we didn't even think it was still there. We thought the guy
Yeah.
just forgot to delete his
Yeah,
ad.
exactly.
And you ended up calling and he was like, yeah, I still have it. Come on
Yeah.
over and look at it. And it turns out the guy that had it also towed a fifth wheel with it. And he
Yep.
had already like prepped it with all these things and upgrades.
Yep.
And it even came with a hitch. So that helped us bring the truck.
That was one of the biggest things. We were talking about doing a new truck, but then we were like, okay, so even though we sold the house, we bought the trailer, we had to figure out how much money we were going to spend on the trailer and the truck. And then we just said, you know what, we don't need a new truck. We need something that's going to work for what we have. And that was the best part is we bought a truck that somebody else already put all the stuff into it.
And mind you, it might sound like, oh, they sold a house. They have tons of money. No, we had just enough
Yep.
to buy the trailer, which at the time was brand new. We bought a 2022 Grand Design,
Yeah.
which is like a better brand.
Yep.
As you shop around, we'll do that on another video.
Yeah.
But so we bought a brand new RV and we decided to do that because not only was it the model that would fit for us with a mid bunk that had a room for Violet, but also it we didn't want to buy somebody's used RV that comes with its own problems already.
Yes.
Like we wanted something that we were going to be able to modify the way we wanted to, when we wanted to. But we wanted to also not have to worry about like, well, did these people do like shady work, or
Yep.
is it coming with things that are already broken and we're going to have to figure out. Mind you, we're brand new. We don't know this RV life.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to have to like fix things in our first month of having it. So anyway, we decided on a brand new rig. The truck was a 2015.
Yes.
So that was used. It was not old. I mean, it was not new.
But I will say though, the guy took care of it. So when we did show up, my brother and I went over to go look at it, and and my brother looks at me and goes, "If you don't buy it, I'm gonna buy it," because I mean the thing was spotless. The guy took care of it, but it was just to travel around the state. That was it. He didn't go any farther than what we planned on doing. So it worked out really well for us, and we were really happy with it.
So, like I was saying, we didn't get tons of money with the sale of the
Yes.
house. The house wasn't paid off.
No.
So we had to pay off the rest of the mortgage, pay off his mom's, bills or whatever we
Yeah.
had to take care of from her estate. Half of it, that what was left, goes to his brother, and then
Yeah.
we got the other half. So we had just enough to cover the RV, cover the truck, and pretty much buy all the little things,
Yep.
which will be another video of
Yes.
all the things you're going to actually need when you start this lifestyle.
Yep.
Because you get an RV and they give you a package with all the things that you need. But we didn't really use all of it. You end up having to spend a pretty penny after,
Yes.
just to even
But
hit the
that's-
road
but
and get
that's
started.
because you're living in it. If you're doing a weekend thing, I get it. It's you're not very much.
Still, we had to buy the blocks, the
Well, yeah.
chalks,
No,
like
no,
that stuff
absolutely.
didn't come.
Absolutely.
So, okay, we'll do that on another video.
Yes.
But anyway, back to we had just enough to cover what we were going to buy, and we had a little bit of money left over. Nothing crazy. Like, this was not going to be our inheritance that we get to live off of for the rest of our lives. Like, this was just setting us up to have somewhere to live and then figure out the next step. So that's when we get to that whole first year of RV life was spent living in my sister's driveway. We parked this giant 37-foot fifth wheel in her driveway. Luckily, it fit on her property, and we were behind a closed gate, so the dogs had somewhere safe to be, because mind you, we also have 2 dogs. And
they're big.
Yeah. So Brandon, being his handy dandy self, was able to set up my sister's house with the electrical that we needed to hook up, and he was able to fix the sewer so we can hook up to her house. And then we had water from the hose. So we had pretty much full hookups at my sister's house. So we were mooch stocking, which is a term that comes from, like, you're literally mooching off of wherever you are. So we, for the first 15 months, we were stationary. So we were not traveling. Brandon still had his business. Now we're at our 3-year anniversary. We've officially been on the road from December of 2022. So our plan was, we had no plan, really. And this is the part where this lifestyle can be so amazing. And it has been really amazing for us. But it could be a lot easier if we had actual jobs. And we do not have jobs. We went into this thinking, we were very positive in our own skills, in our talents. We are both very creative, very skilled people, capable of pretty much doing so many things. Brandon can build you a house, and I have lots of skills. So we said, Brandon's going to go out, he's going to build on the road, whether it's helping people in the RV community already and helping them with their trailers, or helping build on the road with random people that need stuff fixed in their house. And my job was going to be astrology, and I was going to do readings, and it was going to be perfect, and it was going to take care of a big chunk of our income, because I can do it from the trailer and my computer. As long as I had Wi-Fi, I can do, like, readings. I didn't have to go anywhere. So this was going to be great. And it has not. It has not been easy. I've done readings, but it's not enough money to, like, sustain us. He's done both residential and RV builds, but it's not enough. There's some months that have been super great because we've figured out other ways. Like, I started my card business where I was digitally drawing and creating greeting cards. And that helped get us by. I was able to do some virtual assistant kind of things, again, from my computer, but that's freelancing, so it's not every month and it's not consistent. And he's been able to do random jobs with, the last job he did was with a flipper, like a real estate.
So I found a real estate agent that was doing a house flip, and I got lucky. I know not everybody believes in Craigslist, but I ended up finding him on Craigslist and found him that way. But
we'll do another video of,
that's
like,
true.
of, like, what the jobs, and, like, in depth of how we got them and what we've done. And now we are here to share our story. Now you know how we got here, why we're here. Really, our why is our daughter. We have one kid, she's 8, and it took us 3 years to get pregnant. And it was not like an easy, like, oh yay, we're pregnant. Like, it took 3 years of constantly trying, and a lot of heartache, and just, the normal thing when you're trying to conceive. And it just felt crazy that we finally got our little miracle baby, and he wasn't spending time with her, and Violet and I were by ourselves, so my husband wasn't
around
there. And it just wasn't making sense that we were doing all of this, and we were pretty much doing it just to pay for a house,
Yep.
just to have that American dream of, like, on paper, it looks great.
Yep.
We're a family. We have the cars. We have all the things. We have the house. I mean, we had Disney passes. Like, we were doing little trips here and there. But realistically, we weren't good. Like, he was exhausted. I was exhausted. It just was not really what we envisioned our life to be.
Yep.
And we decided to just take that giant leap and just hope for the best, that it was going to work out, that we were going to just make enough money to get by. We're going to be able to go on random adventures, explore the country. We have our house on wheels that's brand new and it's super cute. We have a great truck.
Yep.
We're healthy and young, and we can actually be out there and explore, and have great family time together.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has been, don't get us wrong, but there's other sides to it. So that's our plan. We want to share the ups and downs with you, and we want to share the successes we've had. We want to share the failures that we've had. We want to tell you about what it takes to have an RV, maintenance, expenses that we did not even expect.
Just the reality of what RV life can give you.
Yeah.
I mean, like Veronica was saying, I mean, it's ups and it's downs. So, but we love it. We absolutely love it, and we wouldn't change it for the world.
Okay, so we hope you will be here to go along on our journey with us. We look forward to sharing all of the things with you from a real perspective, from a family that's been doing it now for 3 years. Can you believe we've been doing this for 3 years? We've been living in a house on wheels for 3 years.
And it went by fast.
Yes.
Extremely fast.
So also, like, I want to send you off with this thought in your head. If you could make a decision now that's going to affect you in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, how will that change your life? Like, what can you do today? It doesn't have to be as extreme as us with getting rid of everything. We completely understand that everybody does not get the opportunity to be given money to buy a rig and a trailer or a truck. It came with a huge sacrifice. But it also gave us the biggest opportunity to just live life our way. So what can you do to live life your way that will make you feel fulfilled and happy and excited to just do what you want to do? Like, there's so many things that can be life-changing, and now being on the other side of, like, knowing that this big life-changing decision really was life-changing in so many amazing ways. Just we're thankful you're here. Follow along on our stories. We post on Instagram a lot of, like, photos and, like, short, like, reels and stuff like that. So if you're into that and you use Instagram, go follow us, Exploring Random Roads on Instagram. This is where we're going to do a lot more of the long form videos where we're talking and sharing, like, actual information that will be helpful to you if you're planning on taking this journey too. We appreciate you, and we look forward to connecting with you. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and message us on, you know, anything that you want to know. Like questions.
Any questions. Comments, doesn't matter.
But thank you. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. Hi. Ready? Veronica.
And I'm Brandon.
Okay, ready? Let's do it again. Ready?
You can't change it up.
Okay, ready? Ready?
You do it.
Okay, ready.